Hi, it's Elyse here at Bowman Library with a whole new teen book spotlight. So, for our spotlight this time, we are exploring, I think, what's become one of my favorite genres of late, and that is all mysteries. And one thing I love about mysteries is it is like one of those genres that could be for anyone. There are historical, there's current day, there's ones in the future, there's ones that deal with solving a crime, there's ones that are more psychological mysteries, there's some a little like thriller overlap. So what we're gonna do today is we have 6 amazing mysteries we're gonna take a look at. They have a little bit of something for everyone, okay? So some of them are my favorites of late. I can't wait to share them, so let's get started. Okay, so our first one is That's Not My Name. Okay, so our book starts here with a girl waking up on the side of the road. She doesn't know her name. She doesn't know how she got there. She's all bruised up. She's cut scratches. Brought to the police station, she is soon claimed by her father, who tells her that her name is Mary. But something still feels off as he brings her to their cabin and he starts telling her things, but things are not adding up. Like, there are things he should know about her, but he doesn't, such as she has a food allergy. So things are just kind of weird. As we are getting Mary's story, we also then are introduced to Drew. Now, Drew is looking for his missing girlfriend, whose name is Lola. Right now, he is the main suspect in her disappearance because he was the last person to see her in town, and he is desperate to find her, not only to find her, but also to clear his name. Working with Lola's best friend, they start looking into things that the police will not, and they start to discover things that will change everything. So this is a multiple point of view thriller. It's a page turner. You will not want to put this one down. And I will tell you, you think you might have it figured out. I promise you, you don't. One of my favorite reads of the year so far. Highly, highly recommend. That's Not My Name. Next one is 5 Survive. Okay. Red and 5 of her friends, they are on their way to spring break in a friend's RV. When they lose their GPS signal and they end up lost in the middle of nowhere, and they get a flat tire on this said dirt road. It is after they replace the tire, though, that someone then outside of the RV shoots out all of the tires of the RV as well as the gas tank, leaving them stranded with no cell signal, and they find out one of them has information that this hostage taker wants. As the 6 on the RV start to devise a variety of escape plans, they soon start to learn and reveal things about themselves as well as each other. And when their secrets start to come to light, their true personalities come out. It's a suspenseful mystery thriller. Like, if you're like me, you'll be turning the pages and you'll be trying to figure out who has the secret, because stuff starts to get revealed and it will throw you for a loop. You won't be able to stop this one. This is 5 Survive. Okay. All These Bodies. If you ever read the classic In Cold Blood, this is kind of like In Cold Blood-esque inspired. So, it is the summer of 1958, and Michael Jensen, he wants to be a journalist, but nothing happens in his small Minnesota town. Instead, he starts to find his own excitement by reading about a serial killer who is currently murdering individuals, 12 in total across the Midwest. And not only does he murder these individuals, but then the serial killer drains their bodies of all of their blood. Okay? Kind of gruesome, but you never think it's going to happen where you are. Oh no. Then the unthinkable happens, and a family in his town is murdered in the same exact way, and in the next room in this house there is a 15-year-old girl who's discovered, whose name is Marie Catherine Hale. She's covered in blood, and she's the only person who is left alive through all these events, these 12 people, okay? And the only person she will talk to and tell her story to is Michael. As she starts to talk to him, though, Michael cannot help but wonder, what exactly is the truth? Can he believe everything she is telling him, or is this just all a ploy to get sympathy, okay? What is she making up? And it's going to be up to him to piece together all of this, to find out the truth, and to stop whatever might happen to someone else. This is based on a true story of the murders from that time period. It will keep you on the edge of your seat. You won't know what to trust, what not to. Yeah, and it will then lead you into some further research into the murders that actually inspired the events in all these bodies. Okay, Girl on Frame, a little bit more of a modern mystery, okay? Sydney is going to school up in Seattle, but for the summer she's expected to come down to California, to San Francisco, in fact, to stay at her movie star mother's house, okay? This is the last thing she wants to do. She and her mother do not have the best relationship. She just wishes she can stay up in Seattle. She arrives at the airport, though, and the only person who is there to pick her up is her mother's new boyfriend, Jake, who she has never met before. Her mother, Lika, acts more like a child than Sydney does, and she and Jake have some pretty epic fights, okay? But through all of this, Jake also starts to become very protective and jealous of Sydney type deal, okay? When Sydney gets a boyfriend, things start to come to a head, and soon things quickly explode. This is part mystery, part a realistic exploration of a complicated society and how it can be for young women. You will receive clues throughout the whole story as you try to figure out what actually happened, because you'll get bits and pieces as the time goes. It's like this modern day type of mystery that explores not just the mystery but also looks at some societal issues around it. So if you want your mystery to have a little more depth to it, as opposed to just like, here's what happened, trying and solve it, this is a perfect read for you. This is Girl on Framed. Okay, Silence of Bones by Junher, and I love Junher. She does a lot of historical mysteries that are set in times and countries that normally do not get their due, and I truly appreciate that of her. And Silence of Bones is no exception to that. So this is set in the early 1800s in Korea. 16-year-old Seol finds herself orphaned. She's the youngest in her family, and she is sent to the southern province to work with the police. She's basically an indentured servant, okay? But they let her work as an officer because there are cases that involve women, and the law at that time, men are not allowed to interview or handle female victims. So Seol has to do that for them. As a series of gruesome murders start to take place in the area, Seol soon finds herself being assigned to the case. But it starts to stir up more than just her intrigue in it, okay? It also stirs up memories that she seems to have buried involving the deaths of her parents and her missing brother. As Seol inches closer to the truth, she may actually get the truth behind her own life, not just what these crimes are. Filled with a murder mystery and history about a time and place that we probably know very little about. And it's incredibly eye-opening, and the amount of research that Junher puts into her books. This is not just your a normal murder mystery. You will also be on this solving this personal mystery with Seol as well. This is The Silence of Bones. And our last one for today is Promise Boys. Okay, so this is a modern day mystery. So Trey, Ramon, and JB are three students who are attending the Urban Promise Prep School in Washington, D.C. And even though they don't run in the same social circles, they find themselves at the center of an accusation together when their principal is murdered in his office, and the three of them are now prime suspects because they were the only ones in detention right next door to that office. Now, even though they say they are innocent, through their backstories leading up to the murder, they each have their own reasons and motives for killing Principal Moore. And there is evidence pointing to each one, okay? In order to clear their names, they are going to have to work together to not only prove their innocence, but they also have to find the person who is truly responsible. So this is much more than your usual murder mystery. This plot goes into social justice, politics, and how far is too far in trying to make a name for yourself, and what does your reputation really actually count for? This is Promise Boys. So these are just 6 of the mysteries we have here at the library. They are amazing, but I promise you we have tons of others in all different capacities. So I encourage you to come on down, check out one of these, or maybe try a mystery if it's something you're not usually into reading. I do promise there can be some good mysteries. I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope you tune back next time for a whole new teen book spotlight.